The Discovery. Captain Lena Sorensen gazed out at the vast expanse of stars from the observation deck of the ESS Prometheus, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. Her crew, a diverse mix of scientists, engineers, and specialists, busied themselves with their daily tasks, maintaining the ship's systems and analyzing the data streaming in from their long-range sensors. Lena had always dreamed of exploring the unknown reaches of space, driven by an insatiable curiosity about the mysteries that lay beyond Earth's borders. She had worked tirelessly to earn her position as captain, proving herself time and again in the face of challenges that would have broken lesser individuals. As she sipped her morning coffee, a chime from her wrist communicator interrupted her thoughts. "Captain Sorensen, please report to the bridge. We've detected an anomaly that requires your attention." The voice belonged to her first officer, Commander Mikhail Petrov. Lena acknowledged the message and made her way to the bridge, her mind already racing with possibilities. As the doors slid open, she was greeted by the sight of her crew working diligently at their stations, their faces illuminated by the glow of holographic displays. "Report," she commanded, taking her seat in the captain's chair. Commander Petrov stepped forward, his tall frame towering over the others. "Captain, our long-range sensors have detected an unusual signal emanating from an unexplored region of space, approximately 2.7 light-years from our current position. The signal doesn't match any known patterns in our database." Lena leaned forward, intrigued. "What's the nature of the signal?" Petrov hesitated for a moment before replying. "That's the thing, Captain. It appears to be a distress call, but the language and encoding are unlike anything we've encountered before." A hush fell over the bridge as the implications of Petrov's words sank in. The possibility of an alien civilization in distress was both exhilarating and unnerving. Lena rose from her chair, her eyes sweeping over the faces of her crew. "We have a responsibility to investigate," she declared. "If there's even a chance that someone out there needs our help, we can't ignore it. Plot a course for the signal's origin and engage the FTL drive." As the crew set to work, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the cusp of something monumental. The ESS Prometheus, the pride of Earth's exploratory fleet, was about to embark on a journey that would change the course of human history. As the ship prepared for the jump to FTL, Lena found herself drawn to the large view screen at the front of the bridge. The stars seemed to beckon her forward, promising answers to the countless questions that had driven humanity to explore the cosmos. She thought back to the early days of space exploration, when brave men and women had first ventured beyond Earth's atmosphere in fragile crafts, driven by the same curiosity and thirst for knowledge that now propelled her and her crew. In the centuries since, humanity had come a long way, establishing colonies on distant worlds and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. But for all their advancements, they had yet to encounter another sentient species. The prospect of making first contact filled Lena with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Would the aliens be friendly? Would they share humanity's values and desires? Or would they view the Prometheus and her crew as a threat? As the ship accelerated to FTL speeds, the stars outside the view screen blurred into streaks of light. Lena knew that whatever lay ahead, she and her crew would face it with the determination and ingenuity that had carried humanity to the stars. The journey to the signal's origin would take several days, even with the Prometheus's advanced propulsion systems. Lena used the time to review the data collected by their sensors and consult with her team of experts. Dr. Evelyn Chen, the ship's lead xenobiologist, was particularly eager to analyze any data they could gather about the alien species. "Imagine the possibilities," she enthused, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "A new civilization, with their own unique biology and culture. Think of all we could learn from them." Lena shared her enthusiasm, but cautioned against getting ahead of themselves. "We don't know what we're walking into," she reminded the eager scientist. "For all we know, this could be a trap or a misunderstanding. We need to approach this situation with caution and respect." As the Prometheus drew closer to the signal's origin, The tension on the ship grew palpable. Each member of the crew knew that they were about to make history, one way or another. Finally, after days of anticipation, the ship dropped out of FTL at the edge of a binary star system. The sensors immediately picked up the presence of an alien spacecraft, drifting listlessly in orbit around one of the stars. Lena ordered the Prometheus to approach cautiously, scanning the alien vessel for any signs of life or activity. As they drew closer, the extent of the damage became apparent. The ship had been badly damaged, its hull scorched and punctured by what appeared to be weapons fire. Life signs? Lena asked, her heart pounding in her chest. Faint, but present, replied Lieutenant Kira Nakamura, the ship's sensor specialist. I'm detecting a handful of survivors, but their life signs are weak. They won't last long without assistance. Lena knew that they had to act fast. The lives of the alien crew hung in the balance, and the decisions made in the next few moments would determine their fate. She turned to her crew, her eyes blazing with determination. Prepare a boarding party and ready the medical bay. We're going in to help those survivors, no matter the risk. This is what we trained for, people. Let's show them what humanity is made of. As the crew scrambled to carry out her orders, Lena couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but she also knew that her crew was up to the task. The mystery of the alien signal had led them to this moment, and now it was up to them to unravel the secrets that lay ahead, with the strength and ingenuity of the human spirit to guide them. Lena knew that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for knowledge and understanding. And so, as the Prometheus drew alongside the stricken alien vessel, Captain Lena Sorensen and her crew prepared to step into the unknown, ready to face whatever mysteries the universe had in store for them. Part 2. The Encounter. As the boarding party prepared to enter the alien ship, Captain Lena Sorensen couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. She had trained for years for this moment, but now that it was here, the weight of responsibility settled heavily on her shoulders. Lena turned to her team, her voice steady and confident. Remember, we're here to help. Keep your weapons holstered unless absolutely necessary. We don't want to give them any reason to mistrust us. The team nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They knew that the success of this mission could shape the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. As they approached the airlock, Lena took a deep breath and activated her suit's communicator. This is Captain Lena Sorensen of the ESS Prometheus. We come in peace and offer our assistance. Please respond. There was a moment of tense silence before a garbled response crackled through the communicator. The language was unlike anything they had heard before, a series of clicks and whistles that seemed to defy translation. Undeterred, Lena tried again, this time using the universal greeting that had been developed for just such an occasion. We come as friends, she said, enunciating each word carefully. We want to help. To their surprise, the airlock began to cycle open, revealing a dimly lit corridor beyond. Lena motioned for her team to proceed cautiously, their suits' lights illuminating the alien ship's interior. As they made their way deeper into the vessel, they couldn't help but marvel at the strange architecture and technology that surrounded them. The walls were covered in intricate patterns and symbols, while the air was filled with a faint, unfamiliar scent. Suddenly, a movement at the end of the corridor caught their attention. A figure emerged from the shadows, its form unlike anything they had ever seen. It was tall and slender, with elongated limbs and a head that tapered to a point. Its skin was a mottled gray, and its eyes glowed a soft blue in the darkness. Lena stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. We mean you no harm, she said, keeping her voice steady. We detected your distress signal and came to offer our assistance. The alien tilted its head, as if considering her words. Then, to their amazement, it spoke in perfect English. You are human, it said, its voice soft and melodic. We have heard of your kind, but never before have we encountered you in person." Lena exchanged a glance with her team, wondering how the alien had learned their language. "Yes, we are human," she replied. "I am Captain Lena Sorensen of the ESS Prometheus. We are explorers and peacekeepers, and we want to help you in any way we can." The alien seemed to relax slightly, its posture becoming less guarded. "I am called Zorax," it said. "I am the commander of this vessel. We were attacked by a hostile species and barely managed to escape with our lives. Many of my crew are badly injured, and our ship is badly damaged." Lena nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. "We have medical personnel and engineers on board our ship. With your permission, we can bring them over to assist with your injured crew and help repair your vessel." Zorax hesitated for a moment, as if weighing the risks of trusting these strange new arrivals. Finally, it nodded. "We would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. But I must warn you, the species that attacked us is ruthless and powerful. They will stop at nothing to destroy any who stand in their way." Lena's mind flashed to the devastation they had witnessed on the alien ship, and a chill ran down her spine. She knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would have to face them together if they hoped to survive. Over the next several hours, the crew of the Prometheus worked tirelessly alongside the aliens to treat the injured and repair the damaged ship. Dr. Chen and her medical team triaged the most critical cases, using a combination of human and alien technology to stabilize the wounded. Meanwhile, the engineering team, led by Chief Engineer Marco Rodriguez, worked to repair the ship's critical systems. They marveled at the advanced technology they encountered, exchanging ideas and knowledge with their alien counterparts. As the two crews worked side by side, a tentative bond began to form between them. Despite the vast differences in their cultures and physiologies, they found common ground in their shared desire to explore the universe and push the boundaries of what was possible. Zorax proved to be a valuable ally, sharing what it knew about the hostile species that had attacked them. The Zorgans, as they were called, were a warlike race that had been expanding their territory for generations, conquering and enslaving any species that stood in their way. Lena listened intently as Zorax described the Zorgans' fearsome weapons and technology, a growing sense of unease settling in the pit of her stomach. She knew that if the Zorgans were to turn their attention to Earth and its colonies, the consequences could be devastating. As the repairs neared completion, Lena called a meeting with her senior staff and Zorax to discuss their next steps. They gathered in the Prometheus's conference room, the tension in the air palpable. "We can't just leave them to face the Zorgans alone," Lena said, her voice filled with conviction. "If we do, it's only a matter of time before they come for us too. We have to find a way to work together, to build an alliance that can stand against this threat." Zorax nodded in agreement, its blue eyes glowing with determination. "My people have been fighting the Zorgans for generations, but we have always been outmatched. With your help, perhaps we can finally turn the tide." The others murmured their agreement, each of them knowing that the stakes were higher than ever before. They spent hours poring over star charts and strategic analyses, looking for weaknesses in the Zorgans' defenses and opportunities to strike back. As the meeting drew to a close, Lena felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but she also knew that they had no choice but to fight. The fate of countless civilizations hung in the balance, and it was up to them to ensure that the light of hope and freedom continued to shine across the galaxy. And so, as the Prometheus and the alien ship set out together into the vast expanse of space, Captain Lena Sorensen and her crew prepared for the battles to come. They knew that they were no longer just explorers and peacekeepers, but warriors and defenders, ready to stand against the darkness that threatened to engulf them all. With the strength of their newfound alliance and the indomitable human spirit to guide them, they knew that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for justice and peace. The revelation. As the ESS Prometheus and the alien ship, now known as the Galarian, journeyed together through the vast expanse of space, Captain Lena Sorensen found herself spending more and more time with Commander Zorax. The alien leader proved to be a wealth of knowledge, sharing stories of their people's history and culture, as well as their long and bitter struggle against the Zorgans. Lena listened intently, fascinated by the tales of a civilization so different from her own. She learned of the Galarians' advanced technology, their deep connection to the natural world, and their unwavering commitment to peace and harmony. But as Zorax delved deeper into the history of the Zorgan conflict, Lena began to realize the true scope of the threat they faced. The Zorgans were not just a warlike species, but a relentless force of conquest and destruction, driven by an insatiable hunger for power and control. They have enslaved countless worlds, Zorax said, its voice heavy with sorrow. Entire civilizations have been wiped out, their cultures and histories erased as if they never existed. The Zorgans will stop at nothing to dominate the galaxy, and they see any species that stands in their way as a threat to be eliminated. Lena felt a chill run down her spine as she listened to Zorax's words. She knew that humanity had faced its share of challenges over the centuries, from war and disease to the harsh realities of space travel. But the Zorgans represented a threat unlike any they had encountered before. As the two crews worked together to repair the Galarian ship and plan their next move, Lena began to notice a change in the way her own crew interacted with their alien counterparts. Where once there had been wariness and uncertainty, there was now a growing sense of camaraderie and trust. Dr. Chen and the Galarian medical team worked tirelessly to treat the injured, sharing knowledge and techniques that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Chief Engineer Rodriguez and his team collaborated with the Galarian engineers to upgrade the ship's systems, combining human ingenuity with alien technology in ways that had never been done before. And as the days turned into weeks, Lena found herself growing closer to Zorax, drawn to the alien leader's quiet strength and unwavering dedication to their people. They spent long hours talking, sharing their hopes and fears for the future, and grappling with the enormity of the task that lay ahead. It was during one of these conversations that Zorax revealed the true reason behind the Zorgans' relentless expansion. They are not just conquerors, the alien said, its voice barely above a whisper. They are consumed by a belief that they are the only species worthy of existence, that all others are lesser beings to be subjugated or destroyed. Lena felt a wave of revulsion wash over her at the thought of such a twisted ideology. She knew that humanity had its own history of violence and prejudice, but the idea of a species so consumed by its own sense of superiority was almost too much to comprehend. "How do we stop them?" she asked, her voice filled with determination. "How do we convince them that all life has value, that diversity is something to be celebrated, not destroyed?" Zorax was silent for a long moment, its blue eyes filled with a deep sadness. "I do not know," it admitted. "For generations, my people have tried to reason with the Zorgans, to find a way to coexist in peace. But they will not listen. They see us as nothing more than obstacles to be removed, and they will not rest until the galaxy is theirs." Lena knew that they were facing an uphill battle, but she refused to give in to despair. She had seen firsthand the strength and resilience of the human spirit, and she knew that together with their Galarian allies, they could find a way to stand against the Zorgan threat. Over the next several days, the two crews worked tirelessly to develop a plan of action. They pored over star charts and strategic analyses, looking for weaknesses in the Zorgans' defenses and opportunities to strike back. They knew that they couldn't take on the Zorgans head-on, not without a fleet of ships and an army of soldiers. But they also knew that they couldn't simply stand by and watch as the Zorgans continued their campaign of conquest and destruction. And so they began to formulate a plan, a daring gambit that would require all of their skills and resources. They would strike at the heart of the Zorgan Empire, not with weapons or brute force, but with the power of knowledge and understanding. Lena knew that it was a risky plan, one that could easily backfire if they weren't careful. But she also knew that it was their best chance of making a difference, of showing the Zorgans that there was another way to live, another path to follow. As the Prometheus and the Galarian prepared to put their plan into action, Lena found herself standing on the observation deck, gazing out at the stars. She thought of all the worlds that lay beyond their reach, all the civilizations that had been lost to the Zorgon's relentless advance. And she thought of Earth, her home, and the countless lives that depended on their success. She knew that they were fighting not just for themselves, but for the future of the entire galaxy, for the right of all species to live and thrive in peace. Zorax joined her on the deck, its presence a comfort in the vastness of space. "Are you ready?" the alien asked, its voice filled with a quiet determination. Lena nodded, her eyes never leaving the stars. "I am," she said, her voice steady and strong. "Let's show the Zorgons what happens when they underestimate the power of unity and hope." And with that, the two ships set out on their mission, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They knew that the road would be long and difficult, but they also knew that they had the strength and courage to see it through. For they were not just explorers and warriors, but the guardians of a galaxy in need. And with the power of their alliance and the indomitable human spirit to guide them, they knew that they could face anything that the universe threw their way. The Alliance, as the ESS Prometheus and the Galarian ship navigated through the treacherous depths of space, Captain Lena Sorensen knew that the success of their mission hinged on the strength of their newfound alliance. The Zorgon threat loomed large on the horizon, a menacing force that threatened to consume everything in its path. Lena called a meeting of the senior staff from both ships, gathering them in the Prometheus's conference room. The air was thick with tension as they reviewed the latest intelligence reports, each one painting a grim picture of the Zorgon's ruthless advance. "We can't do this alone," Lena said, her voice filled with conviction. "If we're going to have any chance of stopping the Zorgons, we need to build a coalition of like-minded species, an alliance that can stand together against the darkness." Commander Zorax nodded in agreement, its blue eyes shining with determination. "My people have been fighting this battle for generations," it said. "But we have always been outmatched, our resources stretched thin. With your help, and the help of others who share our cause, we may finally have a chance to turn the tide." The room erupted into a flurry of activity as the two crews began to plan their next move. They knew that they needed to act fast, to reach out to other civilizations before the Zorgons could consolidate their hold on the galaxy. Over the next several weeks, the Prometheus and the Galarian embarked on a whirlwind tour of the galaxy, reaching out to species both familiar and unknown. They met with leaders and diplomats, scientists and warriors, each one bringing their own unique perspective and expertise to the table. Some were hesitant at first, wary of the risks involved in standing up to the Zorgons. But as Lena and Zorax shared their stories and their vision for a united front, more and more began to see the wisdom in their words. The Krellians, a species of skilled engineers and builders, pledged their support in constructing a fleet of advanced warships. The Vornians, a race of telepathic healers, offered their services in tending to the wounded and bolstering morale. And the Centaurians, a civilization of master strategists, brought their keen minds to bear on the problem of defeating the Zorgons once and for all. As the alliance grew, so too did the sense of hope and purpose among its members. They knew that they were facing an uphill battle, but they also knew that they were no longer alone in the fight. Lena found herself spending more and more time with Zorax, the two of them working closely together to coordinate the efforts of their disparate allies. She marveled at the alien leader's unwavering commitment to the cause, its tireless efforts to bridge the gaps between species and forge a common purpose. And as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Lena began to realize that her feelings for Zorax had grown beyond mere friendship and respect. She found herself drawn to the alien's quiet strength and gentle wisdom, to the way it seemed to understand her in a way that no one else ever had. But there was no time for such thoughts, not with the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance. The Alliance had work to do, and every moment counted. As they prepared for their final confrontation with the Zorgons, Lena couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. She knew that they were up against a formidable foe, one that had proven time and again its willingness to do whatever it took to achieve its goals. But she also knew that they had something that the Zorgans could never understand: the power of unity, of disparate peoples coming together in common cause. And with that knowledge came a sense of strength and purpose that filled her with determination. On the eve of the battle, Lena stood on the observation deck of the Prometheus, gazing out at the vast expanse of space. Zorax joined her, the two of them standing side by side in silence for a long moment. "Are you afraid?" Lena asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zorax turned to her, its eyes filled with a quiet intensity. "I am," it admitted, "but I am also filled with hope. For the first time in generations, my people have a chance to break free from the cycle of war and destruction that has consumed us for so long. And it is all thanks to you, and to the alliance that you have helped to build." Lena felt a lump form in her throat, her heart swelling with emotion. She reached out and took Zorax's hand in her own, the gesture feeling at once strange and perfectly natural. "We will win this," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "Not just for ourselves, but for all the generations yet to come. For the right of every species to live in peace and freedom, to chart its own destiny among the stars." Zorax nodded, its hand tightening around Lena's. Together, it said, the word a promise and a prayer all in one. And with that, they turned back to the stars, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. For they knew that they were no longer alone, that they were part of something greater than themselves. They were the Alliance, the guardians of the galaxy, and with the strength of their bond and the courage of their convictions, they knew that they could face anything that the universe threw their way.